You need to bring more women for your husband. Trust me, the moment you accept this, your life's gonna change. Men need more than one woman, and men crave more than one woman. See, the thing is, we don't want to say this to ourselves. We prefer to say, I'm enough, but it has nothing to do with you. As a matter of fact, when you understand this and have this real talk with your husband, when you understand this, the bond you have with your husband will be unbreakable.
I see these huge public weddings. It's a humiliation ritual for the man. He ends up on one knee, giving her a diamond he can barely afford, begging a woman he's been paying for years to stay with him. So, of course she said, yes, you idiot, she's living in your house. And then after that, she humiliates him publicly forever by showing how much she can control him as he stands there spending his life savings, putting her in a dress and giving all her friends a great time and promising that he's going to stick by her no matter what, while she stands there as the princess going, great, I've got a husband. And the second she's unhappy, the very first second she's unhappy, what does she do? Leave.
I'm tired of being single. I'm 24. I've never dated anyone before, and by never dated, I mean I've never even held hands with a man. I'm tired of having to be independent. I'm tired of having to do everything by myself all the time. I'm tired of having to bring all the groceries up from the car by myself. I'm tired of having to always cook for myself because it's just me. So if I don't cook, I don't eat. I'm tired of having to go and do cool and fun things by myself, and I can do it by myself because I've always done it by myself. But it would be nice to have a partner to go out to lunch and dinner with and try all these new experiences with and go to the farmer's market with, and not having to do everything by myself all the time. I am constantly alone. It's constantly just me. If something happens, the only person I can rely on is me because there's no one else there.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video. Modern women don't really understand that men can see that you're selfish. You're not going to want to do anything for him. And that's why he says, you know what? I don't know if we match. I don't know if we're good for each other. It's not you. It's me.
And another thing, right? Why do you traditional men, or you men that fake that you're traditional, you use the words to come out and tell women that they're traditional, but then expect physical access right after? Like, you will take a girl on a date, or you will link up with a girl and you guys are just talking, they're getting to know each other, trying to understand, I hope so. And in the midst of that, you're telling her that, oh, I'm a traditional. What's even the purpose of telling her you're a traditional? I don't personally care. Because a traditional man can mean a lot of different things, and a lot of them not good, but whatever. You're telling me, oh, I'm a traditional man, like I'm supposed to give a and I'm just like, okay. Then immediately after, you're pushing for physical access, trying to touch my breast, touch my face, kiss my face. Why are you doing that? I thought you were traditional. Traditional men don't do that, right? Or do they? Because I need to know. Like, there's no need for you to do that. It's so...
I am loving the province life. This is so beautiful and relaxing, right? So let's go back to the feminine and masculine dynamic. Because I was coming from this strong, independent woman, and then I ended up tired and exhausted. That's why in relationships then, kasi I did not quite attract the relationship, the man that I want, a masculine man. But then I was attracting feminine men, and that's tiring. And actually, attraction dies kasi pag ganon. That's why in a relationship, if the man is in his masculine energy and the woman is in her feminine energy, the relationship is able to thrive because you are being complementary to each other. And for the man, he is not being controlled, he is not being emasculated, but rather he's able to thrive in his own power and also to the woman. So maganda yung dynamic ng relationship.
One thing that modern women don't seem to care about is that a man having to do everything for you, at some point in time, he's going to resent you for that. And he's going to be like, man, she ain't trying to do anything. Man, she's just a bum. And he's going to go down the list of things that you're not doing, and it's going to be your fault.
I'm aware that I'm not a man and I will never be a man. However, I'm not willing to debate what I'm about to say. So I low-key feel like now that I've healed and I look at relationships differently, men get the short end of the stick because You're not allowed to be sensitive, but how dare you not talk to me about how you feeling? Don't be emotionally constipated, but if you tell me too much how you really feeling, then I don't believe that you're man enough for me. I don't want you to be this superhuman all the time, but you can't take that S off your chest. Do not sit the world down off of your shoulders around me because I'm not willing to pick it up and help shoulder it. Like, you can't have boundaries. You can't have standards. You can't require a woman bring something to the table that you set before she was even in the picture. You're not allowed to have a broken heart. You're not allowed to be afraid of love. You're not allowed to have walls. You're not allowed to be vulnerable. There are so many things that the world will not allow you to do, but they also expect you to do the same thing. You know what I mean? The world would have you to believe that you're not.
I did that once in my first marriage. I knew we were out of milk. I knew my husband was going to come home starving and he eat a salad making bowl worth of cereal before he went to bed. And I knew we didn't have any milk. And I was on my way home and I could have stopped to get milk. And I was like, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I was at the vengeful part of that marriage. But we have our son. When we both agreed he was worth 7 years of suffering. Anyhow, so withholding. Some women specialize in withholding. They withhold affection and attention, energy, admiration. It's a kind of green emasculation. It spends very little energy. I'm being economical and diminishing you at the same time. I'm just not giving you anything. That's sadly one of them.
I don't think a lot of these modern women understand. You're not strong and independent. You're difficult to deal with. Period. Men aren't afraid of your success. They're intimidated. They're afraid of your mouth. They're afraid of you coming in there, messing stuff up, being a problem, talking silly. Nobody has time for that.
I'm sorry, but you can't say you want a good man and then speak about men like they're the problem. Because something shifted some time ago, and it's not in a good way. There was a time where feminism actually stood for equality, fairness, respect, opportunity, and it was needed. But now I'm seeing a lot of messaging that sounds more like resentment and trying to diminish men. They're talking about men are useless, use them, all men are the same, we don't need them. I've even had girls in my comments say that it's cute that I see men as human because apparently they aren't. Like, what? And yet, in the same breath, I hear women say they want to get married. With who? These animals? What is wrong with us? You cannot build something real with someone you don't respect. That's not empowerment. That's just creating a bigger divide. We need each other. And if we keep pushing this constant tension and unrealistic expectations on each other, all we're doing is making dating worse for everyone involved and creating more broken homes.
You're my homeboy, but you're still a man, so there are things that I expect from you even though we're not in a romantic relationship. Let's get to it.
Uh-huh. Well, what do the entitled feel entitled to today based on someone's gender?
Number one, if you are in the car with me while I'm getting gas, you are pumping my gas. I don't know why that one's controversial.
Maybe because most reasonable people actually understand that it's the owner of the vehicle's responsibility to take care of and maintain their property.
I also expect you to put me on the correct side of the sidewalk. Do you want me to or not? Exactly!
So, there are women out there that are expecting gentlemen to have proper manners, but yet a lot of women seem to be lacking in that very thing. How ironic.
Number three, you are the DDH, designated door holder. Why would I be opening the door? You are a man.
Ever notice that a lot of women that make these types of videos and tend to agree with these types of videos only believe in traditional gender roles when it comes to the man's responsibilities? I find that odd.
I don't expect you to cover anything financially, and I don't expect you to carry my bags if we go shopping, although that one pains me and it took a lot of growth.
I'm sure that it did. And sadly, there's a lot of women out there that are still in need of a great deal more personal growth. And not to mention the fact that they actually need to learn the definition of equality.
A lot of these modern women continue to talk about wanting a man to match their energy. But if a man were to be matching your energy, then nothing would be going on. Like at all. Like, because modern women don't really do anything. At least when it comes to dating, courting, being pursued, they really don't do anything. They expect the man to do everything. So he's actually doing above and beyond because the bar is literally on the floor.
You're not stepping up. I want a traditional man, provider, protector, priority, but you move like I'm optional.
I'm calm because I'm thinking. You're asking for traditional investment. Why should I fund tradition with modern chaos?
My past is irrelevant. I'm with you now, so act like a man.
Act like a man is a demand, not a reason. You want benefits without accountability. That's not tradition, that's convenience.
Wow, so you're judging me. You're insecure about what I did before you. Real men don't care.
I'm not insecure. I'm cautious. Dating is a loan, commitment is capital, and character has a credit report.
A credit report? Seriously? People change. My past doesn't define me.
Your past doesn't define you. It describes you, and description is the only data I have.
That's different. I'm not a risk. I'm a woman who deserves safety. I deserve a man who provides. You're calling me a default now? You're so cold. You're treating love like math.
Love is emotion. Building a life is structure. You call it judgment. I call it calculation. Banks don't give prime rates to people with a history of defaults. Not because they hate them, because patterns predict risk.
So what, I have to prove myself forever? I'm tired of being punished for before. If you loved me, you'd let it go.
I'm not punishing you. I'm protecting me. You don't get premium treatment while refusing premium behavior.
You're unbelievable. You want a perfect woman. Good luck.
I don't want perfect. I want consistent. I don't ignore patterns. I avoid them.
So when you look at it, the man's going to pay for most of the dates. You want the man to pay for your trips. You want the man to pay for your nails, your gym membership. The rent has got to be split 50-50 because you're independent, that sort of thing. So it's not really going to be a fair split. It's going to be okay. The only thing that I have to split, and really you don't even want that, is the rent. But all the other bills he pays, I just pay a little bit I'll pay the water bill so I can feel like I'm contributing.
No, I'm sorry.
Like have some fun?
No, I'm okay.
Maybe we could like have a dirty?
No. I'm sorry, but that's not gonna happen.
Like, you're just so
Yo.
What the fuck?
Do not touch me, bro.
Yo, we
Don't touch it.
Back up, dude.
No means no.
Back up. Okay. What is your problem? Do not touch me. I'm gonna get off this bike, bro.
You men, all the same.
Okay, well, dude, do not touch me again, dude. Seriously.
You're a man too, homie. The fuck? Act like one.
Okay. All right. Well, can you please leave? Seriously.
Fine. Bye, beautiful.
Okay.
Ew.
No means no. He said no more than once. Why aren't there tons of women defending this man? Where is all the people calling this out? We all know if a woman made this video and she was being harassed by men, we would have both men and women rightfully calling it out. But it's okay when it happens to a man. If somebody says no and doesn't want to be touched, you don't touch them. But it never is treated like a big deal when it's a man on the receiving end. And that's not okay.
80% of women are not marriage material. Ooh. They're not. They're selfish. Oh. They're self-centered. They don't have just what I would consider that base core feminine skill, that feminine quality. Mm. They don't have that. They don't even trust their own intuition. Mm. They don't even have good intuition. Like I'm trying to teach a woman about intuition, like what that is and how to know things. That is deeply a part of the feminine.
You blame that? You think you blame that heavily on like the feminist ideology? Or
for sure.
Okay.
Because remember, feminism wants a woman to separate her mind from her body. It wants her to separate fact from how you feel about things. So that they want you to say that how you feel and a biological fact, like they want to pull those things apart. Yeah. Wow. They want them to heavily rely on IVF and fertility treatments and surrogacy to have children. When a woman can have a baby for free, like, as long as she works with nature.
Please don't get married thinking, well, now he's a husband, so now she's a wife, so what's a ring gonna do? In marriage, y'all, you're intertwined. Marriage. Some of y'all need to do a study on marriage. Maybe we need to do a spiritual study on marriage. Well, ain't no time and space to be like, whoa, I gotta separate myself from you. because this doesn't meet my standard. Now, every time you don't hit my standard, I got to look outside of my marriage to get somebody who meets my standard, because the one I'm married to doesn't even fill the ground floor. Every deficit that they have now affects you directly. This kind of stuff needs to be handled, negotiated before you're married, the standard. So ladies, that ring, not gonna change you. Matter of fact, you scare me. Talking about once you get it, you gonna be somebody else? How? Let's stop fighting with people on that. Let's just ask a question. Let's continue that conversation. What do you mean after you get the marriage, you gonna turn into that? How you gonna do that? How the stuff you don't do every day, you gonna start doing daily? How you plan on switching up in a significant way? Talking about different habits, different routines, different personality. How you gonna do that?
No more absolutely gorgeous women who are unwed, single, than I know women who are mediocre looking, body is okay, but they are married, taken care of, and got a whole husband and a family. Let's keep it real, Lisa. That's the truth. You got more mediocre women who are married than gorgeous, fine women. That's so true. Why? Couple of things. A lot of times when a woman is aesthetically absolutely gorgeous and well put together, that means she had to do less work where? Internally. Oh, interesting. A lot of times when women are maybe haven't always been, the most beautiful one in the room, the most attractive one, they've had to do more work where? Internally. Because they have to figure out, well, if my value isn't here, then I gotta have value somewhere. What do I have to offer? And when we're talking about choosing a mate and a mother of your child and a partner and a lifelong forever, am I choosing someone who at some point the exterior is going to deteriorate? Or do I choose someone whose substance is going to outlive everything externally? And I find that in my field. Gorgeous women. The most that they get, not all the time, but a lot of the time, is a baby. And the man who doesn't even want to be with their mother child. Very sad.
There's a situation going around about Ari getting caught sleeping with Lil Baby, and she was with Moneybagg Yo.
Is she dating Lil Baby?
No.
Is she dating Money Guy?
Yes. They've been in a relationship for years.
She cheated?
She cheated.
That don't have nothing to do with me.
I know it had nothing to do with you, but it's what's going on in the blogs and stuff. Are people really dating for partnership or ego? And she got her body done and stuff, so she has that look. Don't look like that.
I think if you are a man of power and you get cheated on and you stay with that girl, you're weak.
Ooh.
I think you're operating from your feminine, and I think that there's not enough love in the world. For me, personally, there is not enough love in the world that would allow for me to stay with someone that publicly disrespected me. Now, this is the thing. This goes back to my core values. Okay. I don't know that man. Maybe his thing isn't respect. Maybe it's not loyalty. For me, that's so high on the totem pole, there ain't no way. There's not, the ain't good enough. The money ain't high enough. The beauty ain't beautiful enough. There's nothing on this planet for you to disrespect me in that manner. As a man. Now, I feel like we as women, we handle things a little bit different. Women get cheated on left and right and they stay with their man, and that's their prerogative.
Women do it all the time.
That's on them. As a man of power, because she's with Lil Baby or the Money Guy?
Moneybagg Yo.
This is a rapper.
Yeah, it's a rapper.
This is a popular rapper?
Yes.
Who's bigger? Who's bigger?
They're the Lil Baby. They kind of neck and neck.
No,
yeah.
So it's like a Drake and a Chris Brown.
Yeah, for
They're
sure.
both big.
They're both big, yeah.
Well, no.
Yeah, for sure.
Excuse my ignorance, y'all. I do not know anything about rappers. But what I do know is psychology, okay? You cheat on me with some other man publicly, and it's seen. You didn't even respect me enough to cheat on the low and go to the man's house. You got blasted on the internet.
She got caught by Lil Baby's baby mama. Like, she got caught.
Kick a whole rock with no shoe on. That is, it's no, absolutely not. That's so trifling to me. But again, that's where I'm rooted inside of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know these people. I hate even to use names, but I think that any masculine man that stays with a woman that publicly disrespected him in that way, gave the power to another man, it's over. If he stays with her, he's weak. You know exactly what kind of man he is. Ooh, that's what I think.
Wait for it.
I'm disrespecting my husband because I'm friends with a man.
But I think it's not that you're friends with a man. The point is you're not listening to him. Like, again, love to men is respect. It's saying, you know what, I might not agree with this, but I respect your judgment, so I'm going to go with it. I'm going to do what you say. But like, men don't want an argumentative woman.
When I'm talking about masculine energy, I'm simply referring to traits that have this assertive quality to it. It's just another word for assertiveness. Things like being logical, disciplined, asserting boundaries. When I'm talking about feminine energy, I'm simply referring to traits that have this receptive quality to it, right? Traits like being understanding, compassionate, vulnerability, and nurturing. Regardless of gender, we have both energies because they're just traits. When I'm talking about someone who's balanced, I am referring to someone who can embody whichever trait they need when they need it. So someone can lead with masculine traits, but still have the ability to be understanding and compassionate even during times of conflict. When someone can lead with their feminine, but still be able to assert boundaries, that's a balanced person. An imbalanced person is someone who cannot embody certain traits on the other side, so they overdevelop one. For example, someone who's imbalanced masculine has an overdevelopment of these traits, which turns into judgment, being critical, controlling, and aggressive. Because that's what happens when someone lacks the ability to be understanding, compassionate, and patient. Someone who's imbalanced feminine is going to be overly emotional, develop a victim mindset, people-pleasing tendencies, because they lack these masculine traits of assertiveness. They don't know how to assert boundaries. So balancing yourself out is really about identifying the blocks on why you can't embody certain traits so that you can integrate them into who you are, so that you're not on these extremes, because you're not having healthy relationships when you're in those extremes.
Most men who are angry, they are not really angry. They are hurt. They're bitter. They're resentful. You want him to hear you. You want to express to him. You want him to know how you feel. Sometimes you have to first say, let me try to figure out what's going on with him. He has a wall up. It doesn't do you any good to keep yelling at the wall. He ain't gonna hear you. Try to figure out first, why did he build the wall?
Y'all want real men, but y'all don't advocate for real women for good men. Y'all allow men to drown and adopt her ocean of bad decisions and behaviors, but y'all still want to pacify their behaviors. If you say bad men don't deserve women, deadbeats don't deserve women, liars don't deserve women, cheaters don't deserve women, abusers don't deserve women, then you have to make judgment on what women don't deserve as well too. Y'all will never say when a woman is horrible, when a woman is garbage, when a woman is trash, when she's not marriageable, and when she shouldn't deserve no man, and the women should advocate for that man to stay away from her.
And I would agree.
No, you don't want to
let him finish.
Because you just been fighting for her. Again, if y'all against the Futures, if y'all against the 50 Cents, if y'all against all these men who are mistreating women, then you should have told Klay Thompson to stay away from her and make sure this woman get it together and she changes her music. All the women y'all advocate for are 304s. The good women are silent, but then the good women sometimes come out and advocate for the same stuff these 304s are advocating for. Why would a man be in a good woman's DM? Why would men shower attention to good women? Why is Aisha complaining about this soft life, about her being supported, even with Fatty saying a restaurant, and y'all still supporting these women being their worst selves? So until y'all hold women accountable, tell women their responsibilities, and advocate for men to leave these women alone, and for the sisterhood and girls to come together and say these women are garbage. Stop telling men to be real men, because as long as y'all keep doing this and advocating for their behaviors, men should keep busting down women, smashing and dashing. That's all we saying.
I've been out with guys who I've had a date and I went back to their place, and yeah, maybe I wanted to have them too. Yeah. And we did, and it was just kind of like, like I'm not feeling it anymore. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go home, like whatever. Yeah. And then, you are sort of expecting another date, let's say, after that, but then you're kind of off. And then if they didn't call your Uber home, then it's just like, okay, I'm going to call my Uber. And it's like, okay, bye. It's a weird ending, right? You want to, if she doesn't want to have with you, you have to respect that.
This is a pattern I see in almost every client I work with. People say I have weak boundaries, but most of the time that's not the problem. The problem is they don't actually know what a boundary is. So let me break this down. A boundary is not what you want someone else to do. A boundary is what you do when a line is crossed. Write this down. Preferences are not boundaries. Expectations are not boundaries. Standards are not boundaries. Consequences are boundaries. For example, I want consistent communication. That's a preference and an expectation. It's just information. Nothing about that tells me what will you do if I disappear for 3 days. Or I want honesty in a relationship. That's an expectation. Still not a boundary. Expecting something doesn't make it a boundary, especially if nothing happens when the expectation is violated. Now, standards are important. I don't date people who lie. That's a standard. But a standard only becomes a boundary when it's followed by action. So let's say someone lies to you. Now the line is crossed. Do you address it once and step back if it continues? Do you disengage? Do you remove access to you? That response, that's the boundary. If the same behavior keeps happening and nothing changes on your end, you don't have a weak boundary. You didn't have a boundary at all. Boundaries are revealed in behavior. Boundaries are not about controlling other people. They're about controlling your response. This is also why when people think they're setting boundaries, the other person goes, oh, you're trying to change me. You're trying to control me. Because you're not setting a boundary. You're making a demand. A real boundary doesn't try to control anyone else. The power stays with you. It has nothing to do with changing the other person. It's about deciding what you'll do when something doesn't work for you. And again, this isn't a character flaw. It's a skill that you were never taught. Once you get this distinction, everything changes.
If you're an attractive woman, he's not your friend. He's not your friend. Not how most men think. They don't just be friends with an attractive woman because they like her personality. He's waiting for the opportunity, hoping for the opportunity to get out of the friend zone. Or, he's using you for social status. If a guy has attractive female friends, it definitely elevates his status. I have some guy friends, but I know where things stand. Like, I know if ever they got the opportunity, they would take it.
Baby, let me tell you something. If you take a woman on a date 3 to 5 times and she doesn't kiss you on your lips or on your cheek, baby, she don't like you like that. And as far as I'm concerned, she just using you for what you got. Because, baby, what's a kiss? What's a kiss? You feel me? Especially if you're a woman that loves to kiss. That shit don't make no sense. And I don't want to hear like, oh, everybody don't kiss soon as they meet somebody and that's too soon. Baby, it ain't too soon for him to be spending his money on you, taking you on date after date after date. You better be glad he ain't trying to f***. You heard it here first. Yeah.
If you were to ask any man, would you marry a woman who was not going to cook for you, clean for you, have on demand, have as many kids as you want? Would you marry her? 99.9% of them will say no, because that's the whole point of, in their minds, that's the whole point of them getting married, is I want somebody that's going to serve me and be submissive to me. That's the point. So that's why it's crazy when women are shocked. They're like, I'm doing all of this by myself. And it's like, we tried to tell you, like, this is why they married you. This is why they got on their knees, gave you a ring, and gave you a nice wedding or whatever. You know how we always say the wedding day is for the woman, but the marriage is for the man.
For the man, yeah.
So good luck. You may get lucky and find a decent guy that actually sees everything as a partnership. Of course they exist, but finding one, good luck.
I think it's time I put my 2 cents in on this male loneliness epidemic that we're having. I think if men were just to stay celibate, okay, and save themselves for marriage, there wouldn't be this problem. Women don't want men who have been ran through. Women don't want men who have slept around, who have been used, who just keep their swinging thing just hanging out for anyone and everyone. You just need to stay celibate. And the male loneliness epidemic will end. I promise you. Women don't want men who are used and washed up. That's it. Save yourself for marriage.
I'm getting sick of women asking me, where are the good men at? But you stay in your house every Friday night, you antisocial, you don't respond to DMs, and you got the nerve to be like, where are the good men at? Not in your house. You are a good catch that no one knows about because you spend your time working, going home. You don't do, and even when you do, you don't socialize. You do not spark invitations. You don't even look inviting, and you're wondering why you can't find no good men. I'm just one of those people that know good men exist. Just so happen he not the postman. He ain't coming to your house. Some of y'all, the only way y'all gonna meet a man is if your toilet stopped up, you call a plumber, and that plumber is him. Cause you don't go no where. I don't like the club, Ace. Take a hike, go to the library, get cute, and go to Home Depot for all I care. Do something.
I'm tired.
Unfortunately, this emotional breakdown is what awaits many modern women. This woman needed car work done. She took her car to the GMC dealer and had serious issues. It's not her that's supposed to be taking her car to the dealership. It's her husband that's supposed to be dealing with that. We are built and made to be your shield and deal with unruly people. That's our jobs. You guys have let people lie to you and tell you that you don't need a shield. And you spend all of your time trying to be a man and a woman. And this is the result. You break down. And she's not tired physically. Her soul, her heart is tired.
You know you found a wife when you want to change for her. When you're willing to wake up every day and be like, whatever I do today, I want to make sure I'm a better man for my wife. A wife does not look at any type of gender roles. A wife is there to protect her man the way she can, to provide for her man the way she can. And I mean emotionally, spiritually. A wife is a person who can sit down and pray for you when you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Maybe you may fall off. A woman may pray for you, but a wife is going to sit down and hold your hand and say, let's pray together. Men, this is where y'all take accountability. You have to look in the mirror as well, because you may have a wife sitting right in front of you, but you're not willing to change for that woman. You may be a little boy. Sorry. Everything about that woman is going to make you be a better man. I'm just telling you, it's just real. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. Not he who finds a girl, he who finds a woman, he who finds somebody who outside, he who finds a wife.
Men don't beg no more. That's the problem. I figured it out. Back in the day, they used to be like, I only got 4 minutes. Do what I gotta do to prove to you that I would do anything. Now they be like, to your mama and a motherfucking kid. They don't care no more. They used to be like, in 2004, I chose a turn, and I ain't gonna mess up no more this year. I'ma take it. They don't do that no more. They be talking about some put them in the street, blow their heads off, and make them beat my meat. Like, they don't even give a no more, and that's the problem. Men ain't out here begging women no more. They not out here begging women, and the women, they just out here being hoes. They ain't out here saying, I should have cheated. No, they out here cheating. They the men. Man, to fix the problem, y'all gotta start begging us again. Y'all gotta start making us feel like y'all want us again, because y'all making us think y'all want the men.
One of the fastest way that I block men and I test men.
Tell us, what brilliant strategy does one use?
Is I tell them, I'm not the nail salon.
Okay, now I'm curious.
And if they ask me what color I'm getting, cool. If they don't say how much is it, or what's your Cash App, or what's your Zelle, so I can cover the cost, you're blocked.
And let me get this straight. One's going to block a guy because he's not offering to pay for one's nails. My goodness. If one's that broke, one shouldn't be getting one's nails done in the first place.
Because at that point, you're a taker.
Speaks the voice of experience.
And men like that, they love to say, okay, text me a picture of your nails when you get it done. Sorry, Bookie, you're already added to the block list by saying that.
I can almost see with perfect clarity a video that one is going to make in a few years.
You as a man are supposed to be a provider, meaning that you provide. Why are you asking me to send me a picture of the nails done? If I don't pay for it, how am I going to send you a picture? Block those men.
This video is obviously just a warm-up that a lot of women with this mentality are going to be making in a few years, asking, where are all the good men at?
5 signs of husband material. Number 1, emotional maturity. He understands what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. But most importantly, there's never a time when your emotions is taken for granted. Number 2, ultimate wisdom. Being knowledgeable is good, but having wisdom is greater, because experience will triumph unapplied information any day. Number 3, the ability to lead. A man who can't lead himself won't be able to lead a family, or let alone a woman. Number 4, he's nurturing and nourishing. Society told us that a man is only supposed to be a provider and a protector. But in actuality, a man's love in any home is just as important, if not more, than a woman's. And number 5, communication and comprehension. Not only can he speak well, but he can listen just as good. This man is pure gold and protect him at all costs. Keep a rich mentality.
men don't approach women anymore. And the real reason why they don't approach women anymore is not because you're successful. It's not because you're beautiful. They don't approach women anymore because these new day women, these modern day women are highly disrespectful. These women are so confused, right? They're so confused. They swear that nobody hollers at them. Nobody approaches them. No one pursues them. But why would a man pursue you when as soon as he even works up the nerve to say something to you, you reject him. You belittle him. You tell him that he's thirsty. You tell him that he's pressed. You tell him that he doesn't have enough money. You tell him that he does not qualify for your time or your attention. And then you wonder why they don't want to deal with you. This is why they're not approaching you. And this is the crazy part. You got a lot of women that are so stuck in time, right? They're not getting approached. No one wants to deal with them, right? And they won't even switch it up enough to even go at a man because they're scared of rejection. And I said it, men take rejection way better than women do. Women are delusional. Most women want to be lied to. A woman will put on an outfit knowing that she gained 30 pounds and have the nerve to come in front of you and say, do I look fat in this outfit? And if you say yes, you're the bad guy. We still love women. We don't mind pursuing women, but no one is chasing nobody, especially when it's not appreciated. Am I lying?
So the reason feminine men gravitate towards masculine women and avoid feminine women is because they don't have to step up. Because they lack the ability to assert themselves, assert boundaries, make decisions, and lead in their own life, they feel comfortable and safe with a woman that has those traits. They feel safe with a woman that is strong and can lead and makes the decisions. Because as long as they're in a relationship with that woman, they can live in the illusion that they don't have this problem. As long as they're with a masculine woman, they don't have to face the fact that they're not masculine, that they don't know how to do XYZ. Because if they were in a relationship with a feminine woman, that is a woman that would look to them for guidance. That is a woman that would look to them to lead. And then they would be faced with the reality that they don't know how to do those things and that those things are uncomfortable. And now the stakes are high because now my decisions affect my partner or my family. And that is so scary for them. So although masculine women tend to be more controlling and dominating, their need to feel safe and cared for will overshadow their need to be respected.
How many of you identify as strong, independent women where you got your own back and you are going for it and you are paying all the bills and you are doing all the things? Most women raised their hands, right? We had a lot of strong, independent women in the room. Beautiful. Yes, I identify as that too, right? I said, now put your hands up if you're tired. All of them put their hand up. Said, now put your hand up if you just want to be held. Everyone put their hand up. Like, now put your hand up if you want to just relinquish a little bit of that because you just don't want to hold it all anymore and you want somebody to come and hold you. Hands up. So what that points to is that we have been conditioned to praise and celebrate success and independence and I got me as the solve for happiness. But if we actually check in and tune in with our bodies, the answer lies there. So if your body is saying that that's working, great. But if your body is telling you a different story, it's time to tune in and take some accountability there. And I think a lot of women, like burnout in women is at its highest it's ever been. And like I said, it's not an either or. You get to have both, but where it comes from is different.
I don't know who else needs to hear this today, but leaving a marriage doesn't require your husband to be a villain. So many women come to me and say, he's not a bad guy, he loves me, but I'm miserable. And then they immediately follow it with guilt. Because if he's good, then they feel like they must be the problem. Here's the truth. You can leave a good man who's a bad fit. Misalignment is enough. Loneliness inside of a marriage is enough. Carrying the emotional load alone is enough. And feeling frustrated and resentful and exhausted doesn't mean you're ungrateful. It means you've been over-functioning for a long time. A lot of women stay because they don't want to hurt him. And they're scared of the unknown. They've been together forever and they just can't picture what life would look like on the other side. But staying out of guilt slowly turns into self-abandonment. And staying out of fear just delays the inevitable pain. Yours. So if you're in this place, here's a few things you could do right now. First, separate guilt from truth, because guilt just means you care. It doesn't mean you're wrong. And then second, stop asking, is he bad enough for me to want to leave? And start asking, is this the life I want to keep living? And third, get informed, not panicked, talk to a divorce coach, talk to a finance professional, ask a divorce attorney the real questions. Preparation breeds confidence. Give yourself permission to choose alignment over obligation. You're not the bad guy for outgrowing a relationship. You're a human, and you're allowed to want peace and partnership and happiness.
It just happened that way. It wasn't like I had planned it that way. And my family actually loves my significant other. Like, they like him more than the father to my children. So, yeah, I was just in not a good place in my life at that time. I ended up dating a not diagnosed narcissistic person, but had a lot of those tendencies, maybe psychopath. And I just wasn't fully healed from my inner childhood, I guess. And so I was dating what I was used to, like the turmoil and trauma, like drama, not so much drama, trauma. And I was used to all of the chaos. And so that's what I dated, was chaos. And then the other reason why is because Black men don't approach me. Like, I've dated other Black men before I had children, but they don't approach me. I have to make it known that I'm okay with it or whatever. I don't know. I don't get approached by Black men for whatever reason. I just don't get approached by Black men. I guess I'm not your stereotypical white girl that dates Black men. And so for that reason, I ended up having kids with white men. I don't know, but it's not that we're not trying, because we do want at least one of ours so he can have one, but it is what it is at this point, I guess.
You know, a lot of these modern women are thinking that this little friend group is going to pull them through in the hard times. This little roster that they have is going to pull them through in the hard time. I got a man to pay my bills. I got a man to take me out. I got a man to talk to whenever I want to. I got a man to come over and give me some pipe whenever I want it. I know y'all probably think that's the best way to go. But when all that goes away, you're still going to be looking for some type of stability when you get done playing around, and you're going to be looking for a man to do that for you. And a lot of these men are saying, "No, I'm good."